In this release video, I'm showcasing a few new features, mainly focused around loot. I've introduced the gaming chip, which is essentially a useful little form of unit of account and a medium of exchange for within Plunder. Now, I'm going to extend this heavily in the future, but at the moment, basically, it allows you to do two things. The first is exchange two different arcade tokens. So I pressed that and I received an arcade token in return. And I received one arcade token for 1,000 gaming chips. So the exchange rate is quite steep. If I exchange 10,000, I get an elite arcade token. If I go onto the arcade tokens, I can in turn exchange them back into 1,000 gaming chips. And the same goes for elite arcade tokens. So it's a little unit of account to swap between different types of gaming chips and arcade tokens, etc. Like I said, this is going to be extended heavily in the coming weeks and months with new features. There's a lot of rationale behind having these gaming chips in Plunder, and you'll see lots of features that make use of them in the future. And another update I've added, which also includes the gaming chip, is the bond. Now, the bond is just a fun little loot item that I used to trial a new feature I've built, which is kind of like an iceberg. In the background, a lot has been added, but on the surface, you don't really see how much has changed. And again, this feature will be like heavily extended upon in the next few months because it's just building loads of infrastructure that I need in the background in order to make some really cool things happen. So let me just show how the bond works first. The bond's a loot item that you can receive when unwrapping mystery boxes, and in the future there'll be other places to get them. But essentially it's an interest-bearing, fixed-term investment. You can use the new gaming chips and assign them to a bond. It will subtract those gaming chips from your account, and as well as the bond, and it will create a credit here that unlocks in 7 days. If we go onto the wallet page here, you'll see these new tabs here, and if I open the credits, you'll see that I deposited like 1,000 gaming chips, but here you've got the 5% interest on that, which will be due in 7 days. So it's essentially like a fun little item that kind of replicates some sort of interest-bearing investment vehicle, right? But obviously this is Plunder, so yeah, it's only 7 days. That's the first loot item that has been added with credits update. But yeah, like I mentioned, there's many more. One of them is going to be a really exciting one, which an OG Plunder user, Boog, or Blockchain B, has recommended, which is creating vouchers for assets instead of just for loot. Credit system, it comes with a whole load of infrastructure like I mentioned, and one of them is a feature called oracles, which is very much behind the scenes in Plunder. You don't really see them, but the way that bonds clear is through an oracle, and the oracle kind of handles the state changes of credits, but they can also handle state changes of many other things, including assets. And so what I'll be able to do now that I have the credits and oracles released is create vouchers for assets. So you can share a code and then someone else can claim it, and they'll receive a specific asset on their account in Plunder. And they also underpin some new features that are obviously very important for Plunder, which is depositing and withdrawing collectibles. So oracles are very much like time-based things. They depend a lot on asynchronous state changes. A deposit and a withdrawal are a good example of that because you have to rely on postal services, and that takes time. So the oracle will track the postal services state. And yeah, finally, the credit system will also underpin peer-to-peer exchange for loot. So you can buy and sell loot much more easily and sort of get rid of loot you don't want and acquire loot that you do want. So yeah, that's the credits. The Oracle system will also underpin an eBay integration and integrations into other marketplaces so that liquidating assets you own on Plunder will be possible via third-party marketplaces. So yeah, lots of exciting stuff to come. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more changes soon.